Have you ever noticed that some of the kindest people you know are also some of the most tired? I'm talking about the ones who always show up, who always have a smile ready, who always say yes when you ask for help. They're the pillars of their communities, the rocks in their families, the friends you can always count on. But if you look closely, really pay attention, you can sometimes see a flicker of exhaustion in their eyes. You might sense that somewhere behind that boundless kindness, there's something deeper, something heavier. Maybe even something darker. We often imagine kindness as this pure, uncomplicated good. It's a virtue we praise. We teach our children to be kind. We admire kindness in our leaders. We often measure our own humanity by how much compassion we can extend to others. And all of that is true. Kindness is a beautiful, world-changing force, but what we don't talk about enough is the cost. We don't talk about the shadow that this bright light can cast. This isn't about villainizing kindness. Far from it. It's about understanding its complexity, its nuances, and the very real human experiences behind it. For many people, what we perceive as simple, innate kindness is actually a highly developed coping mechanism. It's a strategy learned in childhood to navigate difficult environments. Think about it. A child growing up in a home with unpredictable parents, or one where love and approval feel conditional, quickly learns that being agreeable, helpful, and compliant is the safest path. They become hyper-aware of the moods and needs of others because their own emotional and sometimes physical safety depends on it. They learn to anticipate conflict and diffuse it before it starts. They learn that their value is tied to what they can do for others. This isn't kindness born from a place of pure, overflowing abundance. It's kindness born from a place of fear and a deep-seated need for security. It becomes a shield, an armor of agreeableness. This behavior, this reflex to please, doesn't just disappear when they grow up. It gets hardwired. As adults, they become the people pleasers, the ones who can't say no. The idea of setting a boundary can feel terrifying, like they're risking rejection, conflict, or being seen as selfish. Every request from a friend, a boss, or a family member feels like a test of their worth. Saying no feels like saying, "I'm not a good person." So they say yes, even when they're stretched thin, even when they're running on empty. Because the discomfort of disappointing someone else feels far worse than the discomfort of overextending themselves. This leads us to the silent epidemic of compassion fatigue. This is a very real state of emotional and physical exhaustion. It's often talked about in professions like nursing, therapy, or social work, where people are constantly giving care. But it affects everyday people too. The chronically kind person is constantly expending their emotional energy. They absorb the problems of others. They carry their friends' burdens. They mediate family disputes. They're a bottomless well for everyone else, but they rarely take the time to refill their own. This constant outpouring, without adequate replenishment, leads to burnout. And what does that burnout look like? It looks like that exhaustion I mentioned earlier, but it can also manifest as cynicism, a feeling of detachment, or even a quiet resentment that bubbles under the surface. The kind person might start to feel unappreciated, taken for granted. They might think, I do so much for everyone, but who's here for me? This thought is often followed by a wave of guilt, because a truly kind person isn't supposed to feel that way, right? So they push the resentment down, put the smile back on, and keep on giving. It's a vicious cycle. The dark side of this kind of kindness is that it can completely erase the self. When your entire identity is built around serving the needs of others, you can lose touch with your own. What do you want? What do you need? What brings you joy? These questions can feel foreign, even selfish. The people pleaser has spent so long tuning into the frequencies of others that they can no longer hear their own signal. Their life becomes a reflection of other people's desires, not their own. This isn't a sustainable way to live. It's a path that can lead to anxiety, depression, and a profound sense of emptiness, despite being surrounded by people who love them for their kindness. So, how do we break this cycle? How do we practice a healthier, more sustainable form of kindness? It starts with redefining what kindness truly is. True kindness is not self-sacrifice. It's not martyrdom. True, authentic kindness must include kindness to oneself. It has to. The first and perhaps hardest step is learning to set boundaries. A boundary is not a wall you build to push people away. It's a line you draw to protect your own well-being. It's saying, I love you, and I am here for you, but I cannot do this right now. It's understanding that your capacity is finite. You are not a superhero. You're a human being with real limits. Saying no isn't selfish. It's an act of self-preservation. It's a declaration that your needs matter too. And here's the thing. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. They won't see it as rejection. They'll see it as you taking care of yourself, so you can continue to show up in a healthy way. The second step is reconnecting with yourself. You have to get quiet and listen. Start small. Ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? Maybe it's 5 minutes of silence. Maybe it's a walk in nature. Maybe it's saying no to a social event you're dreading. It's about learning to honor your own needs with the same urgency you honor the needs of others. This isn't easy, especially if you've spent a lifetime ignoring them. It takes practice. It takes patience. But it's essential. Finally, we need to recognize that we are worthy of love and belonging just as we are, not because of what we do for others. Your value is inherent. It's not tied to your productivity, your helpfulness, or your ability to make everyone else happy. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to have needs. You deserve to be cared for just as much as you care for others. So, if this resonates with you, if you see yourself in this description, please know you're not alone. And it's not a character flaw. It's a learned pattern, and anything that is learned can be unlearned. Start by offering yourself a fraction of the compassion you so freely give to everyone else. Let your kindness begin at home, within yourself, because a kindness that drains you is not sustainable. But a kindness that is balanced, that honors both the self and the other, is a truly powerful force that can genuinely change the world, starting with your own. Thank you so much for watching and for taking this journey with me today. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more conversations like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Take care of yourselves.